On the serene coastline of the town called Abanze in Ghana stands a fortress with walls that have witnessed centuries of change, conflict, and resilience. Once known as Fort Comantin, it is more than just bricks and mortar. It is a testament to the complexities of our past, a place where stories of ambition and defiance intertwine. Well positioned on a hill overlooking the Atlantic Ocean, this fort, like every other fort, has thick walls and bastions for defense, giving it a strategic advantage in protecting Dutch trade interests. This is Wars of Power, Shores of Pain, Ghana's forts and castles reimagined by a Ghanaian filmmaker. Today, we journey through the history of Fort Amsterdam, unraveling the layers of its past to uncover tales of power struggle. In the early 17th century, the allure of West Africa's gold drew European powers to its shores. The English, eager to stake their claim, established Fort Comantin. Between 1638 and 1645, near the coastal town of Comantin, in present day called Abanze. This fort became England's first permanent trading post in West Africa, serving as a pivotal center for gold trade. However, as the transatlantic slave trade intensified, Fort Comantin's role shifted. Its dungeons, initially storage rooms, became holding cells for enslaved Africans awaiting transport across the ocean. The fort's walls absorbed the anguish and despair of countless souls, marking it as a site of profound human suffering. The strategic importance of Fort Comantin did not go unnoticed by rival European powers. In 1665, during the Second Anglo-Dutch War, Dutch Admiral Michel de Ruyter launched a successful assault on the fort, seizing it from the English. The Dutch rechristened it Fort Amsterdam, integrating it into their Gold Coast trading network. Under Dutch control, the fort remained a hub for gold and enslaved people. Yet, resistance was quietly taking root. The fort's dungeons were overcrowded, dark, and suffocating. Enslaved Africans from diverse ethnic groups found themselves chained together, sharing grief, hopes, and stories of resistance. Among them were individuals who refused to accept their fates silently.
While specific documented rebellions at Fort Amsterdam are scarce, partly due to the loss of records and the erasure of African perspectives, oral history reveals spirit of defiance among the captives that should not be overlooked.
Oral history tells us of a Fanti woman, a kitchen worker at the fort, who poisoned Dutch officers' food to avenge her brother's capture. The act left them gravely ill, and this ignited deep mistrust of African workers.
In the early 18th century, Fanti warriors stormed Fort Amsterdam, briefly seizing control before Dutch reinforcements arrived.
These and other tales from other forts along the coastline tells us of courageous uprisings, daring escapes, and subtle acts of sabotage. it is within reason to believe that these acts of resistance simmered beneath the surface of Fort Amsterdam. Imagine the tension within those walls, guards perpetually on edge, aware that at any moment the oppressed could become the aggressors. The air thick with unspoken defiance. Every creak and whisper is a potential spark for insurrection. Fort Amsterdam's history is a complex tapestry of oppression and resilience. After changing hands between European powers, the fort eventually fell into disrepair. In 1951, the Ghana Museums and Monuments Board undertook restoration efforts, recognizing its historical significance. Today, Fort Amsterdam stands as a monument to our collective past, a place where we confront the atrocities of the slave trade and honor the indomitable spirit of those who resisted. It serves as a reminder that even in the darkest corners of history, the light of human resilience shines through. Fort Amsterdam's walls have absorbed centuries of stories of pain, resistance, and eventual liberation. As we reflect on its history, we acknowledge the complexities of our past and draw strength from the resilience of our ancestors. This is Walls of Power, Shores of Pain, Ghana's forts and castles reimagined by a Ghanaian filmmaker. Join us next time as we explore James Fort, where Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana's first president, was imprisoned by the British authorities before leading the country to independence in 1957. Written and narrated by me, Sikahene-Adarkwa. Tour guide's voice was played by Wusua. This series was fact-checked in consultation with Samuel Akwa of Ghana Museums and Monuments Board. Sound score and design by 801 Studios.